What's up, guys? I'm Chase Brogan, and about a week ago, I jumped into a full tour and demo of this product right here, the Neo Zero One 1TB plug-and-play game console with thousands upon thousands of your favorite retro games on here, plug and play, ready to be played. Now, today in this video, we're going to be diving into my top 20 games on the Neo Zero One, and we're going to be diving into the more demanding stuff in here today. We're not going to be going into Super Nintendo, Master System, Classic Arcade. I want to really kick it up a few notches. I want to play the 3D titles that are on here, and I want to show you guys my top 20. So we're kicking it all off here with the original PlayStation collection, and mind you, these 20 titles are in no specific order, but the first one we got to dive into is one of my all-time favorite retro games of all time, and that is WWF SmackDown 2. I played this game around the clock as a kid. Let's dive into a quick match. Alright guys, awesome game. Now the second title that I want to jump into with you guys today is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I love this game. I love it for Dreamcast, PlayStation, N64, but PlayStation and Dreamcast would be my ideal place to play this game. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, great experience there. Now, one thing I want to make mention of, the soundtrack for this game is probably the best soundtrack out there for any retro game in my opinion. Bear in mind though, I had to, because of copyright and trademark and all that stuff here on YouTube, I had to mute the soundtrack, which kills me to do it, but I do want to make mention of the fact that this does have all of the audio here for the game. There's no shortcuts, there's nothing that's been extracted to conserve on space with the capacity here at all. All your favorite tracks on there, Papa Roach, Rage Against the Machine, Public Enemy, all that stuff is in this game. Next title we're diving into though, Tekken 3. This is probably one of the most classic PlayStation 1 games out there. Let's check it out.
Round 1, fight! Round 2, fight! You win. Round 1, fight! Round 2, fight!
Now, all three of those PlayStation titles that we've jumped into so far are pretty popular, but now we're going to jump into one of the titles that I don't think anybody else would have on their top 20 list. I'm talking about Sled Storm for PlayStation 1.
3, 2, 1, go!
right, guys, so check out Sled Storm. This has a great soundtrack, much like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. In fact, this was the game that introduced me to Rob Zombie. Dragula's in here. I think it's a Dragula remix, actually. I couldn't play it here in the gameplay just because, obviously, again, copyright, trademark, all that fun stuff on YouTube. But great game, great soundtrack. Definitely check it out. And I do believe that there is a sequel for PS2, if I'm not mistaken. I definitely remember playing that. I think it would be PS2. So check that out as well. Next game we're jumping into, also going to be our last game in the PlayStation 1 collection, and that is going to be NFL Blitz 2001. Obviously, NFL Blitz franchise started in the arcade, but it quickly went to home console as well for N64, Dreamcast, PlayStation. Absolute blast. NFL Blitz 2001 being one of those later releases. We got to check it out. Let's see if we can get a touchdown. Let's dive into it.
Spin. That's good for another first down.
First and 30.
It gets it away. It might be. It is. Touchdown. And it's good.
First down.
He's running, and that kind of effort is going to pump up the whole team. They're going to go for two. Yeah, baby, it's good.
All right, guys, that was my top 5 for PlayStation, but now we're going to just switch things up. We're going to jump over to Dreamcast. For Dreamcast now, we're going to jump into Daytona, USA. Guys, can't go wrong with Daytona USA, but now I got to go into probably my all-time favorite video game that I've ever played. And most people look at me sideways when I say this. Started in the arcade as well. Love the Gauntlet franchise, but Gauntlet Legends, one of the best games in my opinion. I have a Gauntlet Legends arcade cabinet. I love this game so much. The art for this game, the graphics, everything was top notch, and playing it on the Dreamcast is as close to playing it on the arcade cabinet as you can get, and graphically, honestly, it's better.
Destroy generators to stop enemies. Some barrels contain items. Save keys to open doors and chests. Extra speed. Use magic to kill enemies. One rune stone has been found. Plasma trail. Collect gold to buy power-ups. Rapid fire. Phoenix Familiar.
Alright guys, so as many times as I've played this game, and believe me, it's a whole hell of a lot, I can count on probably less than one full hand how many times I've played as a character other than Blue Warrior. But regardless guys, check out this game. It's an absolute blast. It'll suck you in. But next we got to go to my next favorite game, also in Dreamcast, Star Wars Racer. This went with Star Wars The Phantom Menace. This is the pod racing game. There was a sequel made for this as well that was put out on, I believe, PS2 and maybe a couple other consoles, but I definitely played it on PS2. Graphically, it was much better than this game. But the original, man, it holds weight for sure. So, Star Wars Racer, here we go.
It's a new lap record!
Alright guys, super smooth gameplay here. Love the experience, love how immersive this is. You know, I was getting definitely into this, trying to avoid all those rocks and boulders at the last little stretch of each of these laps, but great experience here on this game. Love how smooth it is. Now we got to go to the game that I jump into every time I do a demo of mini PCs, plug-and-play consoles. You guys always talk about it and laugh at me for playing this game, but it's one of my favorites, always has been, always will be, Virtua Tennis.
Love 15. 15 all. 30-15. 30 all. 40-30.
'" And now speak of being a Chase Brogan video right here. If you don't have Virtua Tennis, it's got to have a wrestling game. Let's jump into WWF Royal Rumble. guys. WWF Royal Rumble, always a blast. I always loved playing as Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy in here. But you had Rikishi, you had Stone Cold, you had The Rock, you had Undertaker, Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, which was one of the best ones in my opinion. So many great characters. Mick Foley's in there. Godfather's in there. Kane's in there. So many great wrestlers to choose from. And honestly, I think this is the most underrated wrestling game in history. But now we're going to jump over to the ports section, which is incredible on the Neo Zero 1 1TB setup. And we're going to jump into a title that I totally overlooked and didn't even notice when doing my tour video of the Neo Zero 1 about a week ago. And I'm talking about Return to Castle Wolfenstein. This game right here, such a blast. It's a first-person shooter. If you remember the original Wolfenstein games, I loved those as a kid. Very similar to Duke Nukem or Doom. Great gameplay experience, but this game right here kicked it up to, I believe this was released like 01, 02 for original Xbox, PlayStation 2. I believe that's it. I don't think it was to GameCube. I played it on original Xbox. It's such a blast, graphically amazing, especially if you're used to the original Wolfenstein games. So we're going to dive into it. Let's get started. All right, guys, what a blast playing this game. This just takes me down memory lane. Graphically, looks incredible for the times. And now we're going to jump over to another title. Oh, wait. And also, I want to highlight for you guys, not that it matters for emulation here, but take a look at the box art of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. There's just something about this. As soon as I remember the day that I saw this, I think I was in like the 5th grade, I saw this cover art and I was like, I got to play that game. And I did. And I've honestly been playing it ever since. So happy to see it in the Neo Zero 1 right here. Now we're going to jump over to another game in the ports section here, very similar to this game too that we just jumped into. We're going now into Doom 3. Doom 3, obviously a continuation of the Doom franchise, and much like Return to Castle Wolfenstein, it took an old style game and just kicked it up to the modern times, at least, you know, for the time that it was released. So let's dive into Doom 3. Man, such a blast going down memory lane with Doom 3 here. Such a good game, much better than the movie that was released around that time. If you want to see a terrible Rock movie, Dwayne Johnson movie, Doom with Dwayne Johnson, you probably don't even know that that existed. It was a thing. It's a terrible movie. Love The Rock, love Dwayne, but that movie sucked. The game, Doom 3, so much better. Next, we're going to jump into another game that I dive into a lot. It's a AAA title, but it's a throwback title too. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge.
Say your prayers! You never learn, Rocksteady! Yeah!
guys. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. This is a throwback, retro, nostalgic sort of feel to it, but modern day at the same time. You can play this with your kids. You can play this with people that remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from their childhood. Literally anybody can play this. It feels casual enough to enjoy no matter what your gaming experience is like. You're either mashing buttons or you could be really good at the game, but either way, no matter where your level of gaming lies, this is a fun game to play. Now, we got to bring it over to PSP next. PSP has some amazing titles on here. We've got the Ridge Racer games, which I love, but I had to just cut this down to 2 titles for PSP. And I got to go with, first off, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny. This is such a fun game. I almost put Soul Calibur from Dreamcast in my list, but I remember that PSP's Soul Calibur Broken Destiny is in the Neo Zero 1. And honestly, graphically, it's a little bit better, so that's where we went today. Soul Calibur Broken Destiny.
Out of my face!
Ring out. Battle 3. Fight.
Oh yeah! Shut up!
Over here!
Ring out. You win.
You really thought you could win with those skills?
Watched over by the gods,
You really think? Okay.
Battle 1. Fight. Battle 2. Fight. Battle 3. Fight. Battle 4. Fight.
Next collection we're diving into, our final game on my top 20 list for the Neo Zero 1 1TB setup today is California Speed for N64. N64 made so many great racing games. That's what I remember playing most on there. It was either WCW, NWO Revenge, which is on the Neo Zero 1, but I didn't want to give you guys all of my wrestling games on here. I felt like I gave you 2 wrestling games here already. You guys know I love WCW, NWO Revenge, but I wanted to go California Speed on here. It performs beautifully. You have so many different tracks on here, so many different vehicles, so many different characters driving those vehicles. You can even race as a golf cart on here if you wanted to. So California Speed, great game, performs beautifully on here. That is the number 20 pick. Now remember, these are in no real order. I'm just picking 20 titles. If I had to pick them in order, man, we'd be here forever because I'm indecisive and I can never figure that out. There's so many different games on here. And my mood always is going to decide which game I dive into. Sometimes I want to play a racing game. Sometimes I want to play a beat 'em up game like Tekken 3. Sometimes I want to play a first-person shooter. You never know what I want to play, but the Neo Zero 1's got something for everybody. So to learn a little bit more about the Neo Zero 1, watch my full tour video. It's super long, but it walks through literally every collection on here. We do some gameplay demos, much like we did here in this video. So check out that video to learn more about the Neo Zero 1, whether you want to go with the 128 gigabyte version, the 512 gigabyte version, or the 1 terabyte version. Click the links in the description of this video. Hit me up in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.